Hello and thank you for purchasing the Logan MT5 Expert Advisor. Today, I'm going to show you how to set it up and explain all the robot's parameters so you know exactly how to configure it to suit your needs. First and foremost, it's very important to install Logan on a MetaTrader that's running on a server on a VPS. I recommend getting a server from either 4x VPS or Chart VPS. But 4x VPS will do the job just fine because they're less expensive. You can go with a basic plan, which is the core, for about $40 Canadian or around $30 US. Once your server is ready, you need to connect to it remotely using the login details that will be sent to you by email. Next, once you're connected, you need to download the MetaTrader version from your broker, like in the example we have here on the screen. I'll show you how to set up an account with the broker TitanFX, but the process is the same no matter which broker you use. You just need to download the MetaTrader version from your broker. You can also simply download the official version of MetaTrader and connect to your broker account. The only advantage of having your broker's version is that it's already pre-configured with the right broker in the list. Once you've opened MetaTrader, it will ask you to log into your account. Just click on Next. Next, here, you need to enter the login information you received by email. We're going to enter them here. And the password here. Obviously, you won't see it, so make sure you select the right server. Then, click Finish. And there you go. The balance is at 0. Just so you know, this is an account I created just for this example, but of course, you need to deposit money so it can trade as you wish. First thing, once you're finally connected to MetaTrader, make sure to do this if you haven't already. I recommend pinning it here. I've already done it myself. So that would be pin to taskbar, just so it's always right here. And one very important thing is to set it to auto start. Normally, if you've already used other robots, you've probably done this before. But I still recommend making sure it's already set up. So, to do this, you need to click here on MetaTrader and select Open File Location. Then, press Windows+R, type Shell, Startup, and click OK. You see here, these are all the applications that will start automatically. So, what you do at this point is right-click with your mouse here on the Terminal 64 application. Hold down the right mouse button, drag it here, and simply create a shortcut. I've already done it, so I'm going to remove it. You can rename it. You can also change the icon. If you want your broker's icon, you can go into Properties, click Change, then Icon here, and choose or look for the icon your called icon if you want. I'm just going to delete it, since it's already been done. So that's just a small step, but it's still very important. That way, if your server restarts or there's a problem with the server and it gets restarted automatically by 4x VPS or your server provider, well, everything will start up again automatically. Next, the most important step is to connect Logan. So, the first step, you can just click here to rearrange all the icons so you can see them clearly. Well, not the icons. Sorry, the charts. I'm going to close them all and start over. From scratch. Next, we're going to open a chart for gold. Very important though, make sure you already have a raw ECN account with your broker, and some brokers have different symbols for raw ECN accounts. In the case of Titan, it's the same thing, it's XAUUSD. For example, with VT Market, it's going to be XAUUSD ECN, or for others, it might be XAUUSD.R, which stands for raw. So make sure you have the right symbol. To know if you have the right symbol, you can also just look at the spread. A raw ECN will have a spread of about 8 to 12 points. So, that's about what we're seeing here. A standard account will really have a spread of $1 to $2, so you'll be able to tell right away if you have the right symbol. So, right-click, Chart Window. It's super important, you need to set it to M15 up here at the top. There you go. Next, we're just going to straighten it out. Then, we'll go to Tools, here to Options, then to Expert Advisor, and we're going to check this at the top. We're going to uncheck this here, and check this one. And here, you need to go. Enter the URL that needs to be added, it will be in the video comments. I'll just go grab it on my other screen. So basically, this will enable the live news filter. It will check the economic calendar for events because Logan doesn't trade during high-impact USD news. So it's very important, 60 minutes before and 60 minutes after, it won't take any trades. Once that's done, click OK. Next, you'll log into your MQL5 account, the one you obviously used to buy the robot. This is to validate your license. Here, you need to enter your login and password. So that's how you log in. Then, once you're logged in, go here to Market, My Purchases. Now, basically, you won't see it on my account because, obviously, I didn't buy my own robot. I can't buy my own robot. But normally, when you go to My Purchases, you'll see it here. You'll see it in the list here. So now, you'll see Logan MT5 here, and you'll just click Install like this. Now, I'm just going to copy it from him, just to show you the setup afterwards. I'm going to grab it. This is my version that's not on MQL5. It's my custom version without licensing. It's the same thing, it's just that I can install it without going through MQL5. I'm going to put it here, but I'm not showing you that part. I'll just do it quickly because it's not really something you need to know, strictly speaking. So, if you've bought it, basically, it'll show up here under Market Expert. It'll appear here below Expert. For me, it shows up here because it doesn't come from the market. That's the only small difference. After that, you just drag and drop with the left mouse button here. And there you go, 1.6. It's going to be a lot better like this. So here, basically, it's just the name of the version. Here, it's the broker, like I mentioned. The magic number, it shouldn't be the same as other robots. Basically, that's just what will show up in the comments. For example, Logan ES1 for strategy 1, Logan S2 for the second strategy, and so on. So, you can put whatever you want, but by default, it's Logan. The 3 strategies that are enabled by default. So, the only thing you really need to change, I'd say, is here. Everything here, basically, when it comes to lock calculation, by default, we're set to automatic. So, low, medium, lot is the default risk. Obviously, I wouldn't recommend going lower, it's riskier. Like this account I just created, by the way, I'm going to run it on high risk. Actually, on extreme, it's just because it's a signal, it's made for that. It's a small account that I'm going to run on extreme. But honestly, I really don't recommend running it like that. Unless you have a high risk tolerance and can handle drawdowns of 50%, otherwise, I really recommend low medium. Otherwise, you can also choose lot by balance or fixed lot size. So, the fixed lot size here, and the lot per balance, it's 0.01 per whatever you put there. For example, the safest is 0.01 per 3,000, but if you want, for example, on a prop firm, I would recommend putting, say, 0.01 per 5,000. So we would choose lot per balance, then we would put 5,000 here, for example. Personally, that's what I use on a prop firm. We'll just put them back to default. Reset. If you mess something up, you can just hit reset here. So, if you're not sure whether you've changed something, if you're not sure what you changed, and you just want to put everything back to default, just hit reset. After that, very important here, balance drawdown in percentage only applies to Logan's trade. What that means is that at 30% drawdown, it's only the unrealized profit and loss that you have open, compared to your balance. If it reaches 30%, it will be triggered. And the actions that will be taken after that, once we hit 30%, will depend on these 2 parameters, if you set them to true. So 30% means, for example, you have a $10,000 account. So if you're at minus $3,000, something will happen, either here, max daily drawdown, stop trading for the day if drawdown is hit. That means if you reach 30% drawdown, Logan by default will stop trading for the day. So, it'll just start again the next day. So, starting from midnight, according to your broker's time. And if you set this to true as well, which is the default, close position. When drawdown is hit, it means if you reach 30%, it'll close everything, all your positions. Losing 3K, your account will have a remaining balance of $7,000. But this, like I said, is really a fail switch. If you run backtests since 2021, it never went over 20% with most brokers. Some brokers even have lower drawdowns. There are some at 15%, but the highest is around 20%. So that's why I set a loss of 10% higher compared to what's in the backtests. Of course, for example, if you set it to extreme, well then, obviously, I would put a stop loss of at least 50 to 60%. So, there isn't really a magic number, it's just common sense. And to really know which one you should use, I really recommend running backtests with your broker because every broker has different trades and different drawdowns. So, I really recommend doing backtests before deciding on that feature. So, we'll just reset. Obviously, you can remove those 2 features, but if you go extreme without protection, you can expect to lose your account if you take on way too much risk. That's just part of the risk of trading. If you go too risky, that's what can happen. So, I don't recommend it. Enable news filter, that, obviously, is going to use it. The link we've put here for the calendar. If you ever forget to put the link or, for whatever reason, the site isn't accessible anymore, Logan will still revert back to the default MQL5 calendar. The reason why I use the Forex Factory calendar is just because it's more accurate. But there is still a fail switch that will, basically, use the MQL5 calendar, which is also very good. It's just a bit less accurate. But in the end, the default calendar is still good should the Forex Factory website be down. It's just that it's always better to use the Forex Factory calendar. Auto-fetch news from internet. That's what makes it fetch the news directly from Forex Factory instead of the MQL5 calendar. So, obviously, it's better to leave it that way. This is the number of minutes before we want it to stop trading. So, 60 minutes before. So, 1 hour before a high-impact USD news, it stops trading, and 60 minutes after. However, if you already have a position that was opened before the event, so a position that was opened, for example, 2 hours before an event, and then an event happens, it will keep managing the position and continue placing grids. But the big advantage with Logan is that it only places grid steps every 10 minutes, based on the candle close. So if there's an event that really doesn't go our way, like what happened a few days ago, it opened a sell at 40.17, then it pumped, but the other one only opened at 40.87. So there was excellent hedging, and then it dropped again, and everything was closed at a profit. Compared to other bots that will just keep placing trades like crazy, and you'll end up burning your account. Logan is designed in a very smart and very safe way to avoid that. Next, the show panel. It's just the panel that will appear. So, that's really up to you. By the way, in the next version, it's going to be much improved. And plotting EMAs on the chart is just to see the moving averages on the chart. Because moving averages are one of the indicators most used by Logan. So, we're going to click OK. Very important, obviously. And there you go. Everything is ready. So, Logan is ready to take trades. So, once again, make sure that Algo trading is enabled. And here, Logan with the little hat in blue, very important. So, once again, make sure it's checked like this. Normally, your broker will send you notifications through push notifications. But if ever it doesn't work, you can go and do it manually. Enable push notification here and enter your MetaQuotes ID, which you can get directly from your MetaTrader app, either on iOS or Android. So, after that, once all that's done, obviously, make sure to properly deposit your money. One last thing. If there's an update to do for Logan, like with any other robot, you go here to My Purchases. Then here, there will be a button that appears, Update. Very important, when you do an update, you need to put Logan back on the chart like this. I won't do it, but just make sure you put it back. And don't forget to change the settings back if you had changed them. Because when you update to the new version, it will reset the settings to default. So, what I suggest you do, if you don't want to have to reset the settings every time you update Logan. Set your desired settings like an example you want to run on MedHigh, you click Save, then you save it wherever you want. You call it Logan as an example, you click Save, and then, when you put it back, you just click Load, and then you go look for it here, depending on where you saved it, here, and there you go. It will restore the settings you had at that time. So there you go. After that, once you've done everything, there is something really important to watch for. It might sound silly, but a lot of people do it. They tend to click the X here. Don't do that, because if you close your MetaTrader, obviously, it won't trade. You need to close here, the server at the top, like this. That's it. Thanks for watching.